Francesco, you have just been appointed earlier this year as the new president of the Community Plant Variety Office, the CPVO. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I've always been wondering, what is an organization such as the CPVO contributing to EU society and EU agriculture?
Thank you, Marcel, for the question. So, indeed, CPVO is an agency of the European Union, and we take care of the Community Plant Variety Rights System, which is intellectual property rights system on plant innovation. Recently, we have run a study on the socio-economical impact of the system in the European Union, trying to measure also the impact of the system on environment and sustainability in the European Union. We did this effort for the first time with the EU IPO, another agency of the European Union, and we have seen clearly that the system had a positive impact on a number of indicators. For example, the improved yield of agriculture, vegetable crops, but also in fruits. We tried to analyze all the sectors, which made the exercise rather challenging. It has shown that innovation and protection of varieties has an impact on employment in the European Union. We have also seen, and it was rather a surprise, that more than 90% of our applicants are SMEs in the EU, and they hold almost 60% of the plant variety rights. On average, an SME has the ownership of 10 community plant variety rights. So this is from, let's say, an economic point of view. If we look at the environment, clearly we have seen indicators that show that innovation and protected varieties contribute to reduction of water use and sustainability in general. So I would say in a nutshell that the system is healthy in a way, and all the sectors are well contributing to these goals, which are at the end the Sustainable Development Goals and the contribution to European Green Deal.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's very important to know, because a lot of people are saying we need good plant breeding and good regulations, but it's not only that. You also need good plant breeders' rights.
Yes.
To get additional benefits to society and to agriculture.
We need incentive to innovation. Yeah. And we know that plant breeding and the sector in general is a high R&D sector, among the highest in the EU. So we have to support this.
Yeah, absolutely. You're the new president. What kind of changes will we see?
Well, I started in February this year. I was appointed in December. I invested the first, let's say, 100 days plus. And we worked hardly to a new strategic plan. We got the approval of the strategic plan in the Administrative Council a week ago. It will cover the mandate 2022-2026. We are going to publish very soon the strategic plan. I don't want to anticipate too much. However, I'd like to emphasize two major pillars. I would say lean management and horizon scanning. What does it mean? So lean management means that we want to continue improving the user experience of our tools. I think that an office like the CPVO has to strongly support innovation and the companies by making available good digital tools for their use, trying to contain the cost of the system, which is a challenge. We know that. The second pillar I mentioned is horizon scanning. What does it mean? It means the ability to try to forecast what will happen after tomorrow. In a way, we got used to live in time of crisis. The pandemic is already still there. Even if we think it's over, no, it's not over. The war and geopolitical crisis are there with us. So we have to be able more and more to look into the future and anticipate what will be the need for new challenging response to these issues. Mm-hmm. So we will try to embrace an horizon scanning culture within the office in partnership with our stakeholders, such as the breeders' organizations.
Yeah, very important work, and it will, of course, make your organization also more robust, more crisis tolerant.
Crisis resilient, and indeed we need to be also more flexible and adaptable to what are the changes outside. So digitalization will continue to play an important role in our agenda, that's clear. And we are going to do also more investment in that area. Also to be able to better understand the business and the business models in the different breeding sectors. I started visiting companies in different member states, in different sectors, and I can say that in agriculture you find different business mechanisms than in fruits, in ornamental, and in vegetable. So it's very complex, the sector.
So another thing that I wanted to touch base with you, Francesco, is I've been following a lot of the discussions surrounding plant breeders' rights, UPOV, CPVO, and I know there is at the moment several topics are being discussed, which I would classify as quite controversial. For example, the essentially derived varieties. In Europe, we had the Nederkot decision, the provisional protection, harvested material, smallholder farmers. And all of those discussions are leading to a lot of emotion. Would you say that plant variety protection has become too political?
Well, politics, it's always interesting when there is something polemic and eventually they can also win something, out of it. Apart from jokes, I think that all the issues you mentioned are very relevant issues they're not new to our debate and the breeding context in general. However, it's true that now we came at a kind of a crossroad in these topics and the discussion was raised more and more. So I think that indeed it's a momentum to think and reflect on the validity of these principles within the system. Without now, I'm not going to say that if we need or we don't need a revision of the UPOV Convention. That's not the topic. However, I would say that these issues open the debate to be able to eventually within an horizon scanning approach, so trying to also foresee what will come in the future if these principles are still good and reflect the situation of the current market.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think no organization can escape occasional change of its regulations, of its directives. So it is almost inevitable, I would say.
Yes, and when we will revise, for example, our basic regulation, currently the Commission is focusing all the efforts in the revision of the PRM legislation and the New Genomic Technique Initiative. And these initiatives run in parallel. And I think that when we will have done it, I hope, successfully, there will be an opportunity to look into the basic regulation. It's a 1994 regulation. It supported the system over all these years, okay, but we have, the rule of law is always evolutive, is not written in stone. So we have to be able to interpret and to make it better.
Well, that seems like a lot of work ahead of you for the coming years. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
And thank you so much, Francesco.
Thank you, Marcel. Thank you very much.